Why would a neighborhood be really vocal and very public that that Halloween is not going to be celebrated in their neighborhood and trick-or-treating is not allowed? And I don't know the answer to that. I'm asking you guys because I'm really curious. Do you guys or have you lived in a community where they weren't allowing kids to trick-or-treat? 1-855-BERT show. Here's why I'm asking. So I'm driving my kid to a soccer match like last week. And on the way on like a back road there were visible signs, big poster boards on the side of the road that said no Halloween with like the line through a pumpkin. And it said no trick-or-treating, and it had these dates on it, right? And I could just sort of guess on why or make a couple of guesses on why, but I have never seen that before. And this, I'm not asking about this specific community, or maybe I am. It's in Dunwoody, Georgia, that I saw it, and I've never seen it before. So if that has ever happened to you, 1-855-BERT show. I thought maybe, how do I say this, that there was somebody in the neighborhood that would be a risk to have children around in the neighborhood, maybe? You know what I'm saying?
I do. I lived in a neighborhood that was like this, but it was in New York when I was growing up, and it was pretty much because of like violence and vandalism. It was just like for some reason bad things would always happen, so that they kind of just shut it down in that particular neighborhood.
I guess that's the only other thing I could think of. Is there so much crime in that neighborhood that why have a night that welcomes in the darkness people going from door to door if the crime rate is high in that area? But I also know that throughout the country, there are very high violent areas that still do Halloween. So I was trying to figure out in this particular area, I don't know the stats on it, but I mean, it's a beautiful soccer field with a beautiful community in the middle of this very eclectic neighborhood. So I couldn't figure out why, so that's why I'm bringing it to you guys.
Only other thing I could think of is like collectively the neighborhood is like very religious, and a lot of people are like, we don't celebrate that. It's Satan's holiday. You know, All Hallows Eve, talking about the undead and stuff. So like that, not in our neighborhood, you know, like that's the only.
Yeah, like maybe the majority.
Not likely, but that's the only other thing I could think of.
Well, the phone lines are lit up with people that have seen this kind of thing, and I am really curious. Hey, Jennifer, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, neighborhoods that make sure no residents and no trick-or-treating or Halloween is celebrated.
I'm just assuming it's because of the pandemic. I mean, this one particular neighborhood that I used to visit was very large. They would throw a community party, and, I mean, hundreds of people would come from everywhere just to troll the neighborhood, you know, kind of trash it. They would decorate it. It would be beautiful, like a cul-de-sac Halloween walkthrough. But I'm assuming since the pandemic that they just want to play it safe. It's so close to the holidays. Nobody wants to lose any loved ones.
Yeah, maybe that could be it. Okay, thank you for calling. Cassie?
Good point, honestly. In my house, we struggled with how to do trick-or-treating safely. We think we figured out a way. We're not going door-to-door, but we figured out a way to pass out candy. That is social distance. But up until the last minute, I was like, I guess we're just not going to do it this year. Because, I mean, there's so many kids weren't able to get vaccinated, and we just wanted to be safe. So that's a really good point.
So do you put a sign on your house that says no trick-or-treating here?
I would have put out a bucket of candy, except we have people who just dump our candy all over the middle of the street because they're rude a-holes. So I'm just going to put out a table and sit far back from it so I can watch kids take their candy so we can still participate but stay very socially distanced.
Hey, Catherine, good morning. You're part of the Bert Show.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, thank you.
So I live in Dunwoody, and I know that neighborhood. The whole neighborhood does up their houses, decorates them like really creepy and haunted like, and people come from all around the area to that neighborhood to go trick-or-treating. And there's often a line several blocks long. So since COVID, they're just not allowing. I mean, it's really crowded when they do it.
All right. So traditionally, that's so over the top. That neighborhood is so over the top that they want people to know in advance. So they want people to know in advance. We're not doing that. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. So it seems to me like most of these calls that are coming in, because I've never seen this sign in the past, probably pandemic related.
I would think so.
I guess that makes sense.
The Bert Show.